I am Frank. I live in Millville. Moved here in 1984. I lived here until 92, and then I moved to LA for 5 or 6 years, and then I came back, I think, in 97. It was a good time to be young and just kind of do my thing. It's transient. It's a great place to kind of move, but most people that live in LA eventually end up leaving there. I actually learned how to play tennis for the most part in LA. So when I was in college, my roommate was the #1 tennis player. And so one day he hit some balls with me. And we played for like, I don't know, half hour. And then when we were done, he said, "Yeah, you're like the worst tennis player I've ever seen in my life." I didn't play tennis for 6 years. One day when I was a lot older, and my neighbor we were hanging out, he goes, "Let's play some tennis on the courts." We went out on the courts and we just had fun. We just played for like 2 hours. And I was pretty bad. And like for the first 5 years, I remember I used to come down here and play. People would see me, be like, "Oh my God, that guy's coming down. Quick, run." Well, eventually though, I found a couple guys that would actually put up with me. Nobody else would play with me. So I just started just playing with those guys every day. Did that for a couple years, and then that's when I moved to LA. And I met my current best friend, who I've now known forever. We just meet at the tennis court pretty much every day, and we would just screw around for like 4 hours. When I moved back here, I was up here playing on the courts, and Chris saw me. He's like, but he basically said, "I need some help with classes. Is that something you might want to do?" And of course, I was working full-time at my other job. So he said, "Well, I just need somebody to help me out with some night classes." And yeah, I just started helping him out, and I was just as bad at teaching as I was when I started playing tennis. It's like anything else, you know, you're never going to be good at anything that you first do. You know, after a while, and you have that much experience at doing anything, then you love something, you're probably going to be more interested in like doing it. So like I would read a lot, and I take classes, and I watch videos, and I learned a lot from Chris. And so I'd always like working here and working a full-time job. You know, I was working 60 hours a week, but then I would come here, and one day I was just like I'd rather teach tennis. And so I just quit my job. I mean, totally cold turkey. I hadn't taught tennis full time. I was just kind of like trying to figure out, can I make a living at this? I just started out, that was like, I don't know, that was like at least 10 years ago when I did full time. Yeah, it was kind of gnarly at first, but it was pretty fun. It was like the best move I've ever made. Yeah. So my big advice to anybody, just do what you love. That is the most important thing I would tell anybody, is just